Hi, amateur chefs. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be making Haitian Griot and Pikliz. If you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe and like this video. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, guys, let's get started. So right now we're going to make the griot. This is some pork shoulder chopped up. I'm adding some sour orange to it. The biggest thing with griot or fried pork is that the acidity. So I did have it soaking in vinegar at first, and then I added the sour orange, and now I'm adding some lime juice to this. This is very important for the marinade. You want to make sure that it has enough acidity in it. So I'm adding some more of the lime juice. I probably added about 3 limes into this. And now I'm going to add some salt. I'm not going to add too much salt because I am going to add my green seasoning. If you guys haven't already viewed that video of how I made the green seasoning, go check it out on my page. But it did have 2 bouillon cubes in there, so I wanted to limit how much seasoning I have in there. So now I'm adding some black pepper and then some cloves. Now, you want to be very careful with adding cloves. Cloves has a very distinct taste. Too much can be very overpowering. So I'm only adding a little bit to it, but I do feel like it really helps make the flavors more intense. So now I'm going to add the green seasoning that I made for my first video. I'm just going to plop some in there as a marinade. Now, one thing about griot, the way that it's going to taste the best is to let it marinate at least an hour. If you can do overnight, even better. The flavors are going to be so amazing in there. But if you don't have time to let it marinate, I recommend letting it marinate at least for an hour. So right now I'm just stirring everything up. I do taste a little bit of it to make sure that it has enough acid and enough salt. But right now I'm just going to continue to mix it around. This is one of my favorite foods. I'm actually not going to fry it. I'm going to use the air fryer. I feel like it tastes so much better. It keeps the juices so good. You see that I just added some more salt. I'm going to add a bouillon cube. I'm only going to use half of the bouillon cube for this recipe, again, because I don't want it to have too much. So you see I just stripped a little half of it. I'm going to stir it in there really, really good. I broke it up into pieces so it can be easier to incorporate. And then I'm adding some more lime juice to it, and then I'll add the rest of the sour orange to it. And again, you want to make sure that you use sour orange. If you don't have sour orange, that's fine. You don't have to have it. It's just highly recommended for a more authentic flavoring of Haitian Griot. So here I am just squeezing every last bit of it in there, and then we're gonna mix it. Again, I really like to kind of make love to my griot, like really incorporate everything in there. And I am going to let it marinate. I think I let it sit for like an hour or an hour and a half before I started to cook it. You're going to boil it before you put it in the air fryer. Or if you don't want to air fry it and you want to fry it, you'll boil it and then you just put it in the fryer. I was trying to give you guys a close up here, but I was messing up. Here we go. There you go. Just so you guys can see what it looks like. All right, so I think that's enough stirring, and then we're gonna move on to the next step, which is I'm gonna make some Haitian Pikliz. So here you guys go. Haitian Pikliz is kind of the side, like seasoning. I don't know. It's like a pickled cabbage and carrots, basically. So I have some vinegar in there, white wine vinegar, some carrots, some limes, some cabbage, and some onions. And then you're going to use some salt and pepper as you go. You'll have to taste it. I am going to use way more white wine vinegar than what you see in the bowl, but that's just where I'm starting. So the first thing that we're just going to go ahead and do is grate the carrots into small pieces. I probably made these a little bit too small. Probably want to go medium size but it really doesn't matter. It's your own preference. Some people even blend up their Pikliz, so I just don't. So I was showing you guys how small it was, and as you guys see, grated quite a bit. This actually hurt my hand, almost cut myself right there, but we're gonna just keep it moving, keep going, get some workout in with that. And then so now I think we have enough carrots. I'm just gonna get the rest of it. And then we're gonna move over to starting to cut the onions. Right, so we're gonna cut the onions into some small pieces. Be careful to not cut your hands. So again, I'm just gonna cut it into some small pieces. You don't need onions. Again, you guys are gonna hear me say this a lot. I love onions. So it intensifies the flavors, I feel like, of every dish. You don't even taste them. So I know I'm gonna have these naysayers say, oh my gosh, I hate onions, anything with onions. You're not gonna taste the onions, and I promise you it makes the world of a difference. Everybody makes their Pikliz different. One quick tip with Pikliz: do not make it the same day that you're gonna use it. Pikliz is better like day 3. That's when you really get the great pickled flavor of it. Maybe even day 2, but the longer the better. The day of it, it's like but when you actually let it marinate into the vinegar, the salt, and even like the habanero or Scotch bonnet pepper, it makes the world of a difference. So I finished up cutting the onions. Now moving to the cabbage. This cabbage was a little difficult to cut. I didn't want to get a different knife, so I started using this little itty bitty knife, and I was struggling. As you can see, this is called amateurish for a reason. A little bit of laziness, but I was struggling, so I just cut a little bit of it, and then I'll grab a big knife to cut up the rest. So I'll just fast forward through this part so I can spare you guys my struggles. Yep, so here I am just cutting up the cabbage into small pieces, as small as I can get them. You don't want like huge pieces, but I'm doing this by hand. Some people blend this stuff up together when they're making Pikliz, so it's up to you. So now I just threw it all in the bowl. As you can see, I added more vinegar into it, the salt, the pepper, and then I'm gonna mix it around. I also added the lime juice into it. I don't think I got a chance to record it. And then I cut up some, I had habanero and some Scotch bonnet peppers to make it spicy. You'll add it to taste, but this is supposed to be spicy. And you add it onto your rice and also onto the griot, also to the fried plantains. So this is it. I'll let it sit. All right, back to the pork, guys. So I let it marinate for about an hour and a half. And now we're putting everything into the bowl to let it boil. We're going to put it in about medium to high heat. I did let the pan start getting hot before I actually put this into it so that it can get done quickly. So the pan is fairly hot at this point. So you're going to want to stir it up periodically, making sure that it's not sticking to the bottom as I am displaying right here. And you're just literally just tossing it around. This is just allowing the juices from the Haitian ippies to really get incorporated into the meat. Guys, this is like amazing. If you can smell my kitchen right now, it was so good. Like, it smelled so good with all these fresh ingredients. So next up, it's pretty much done at this point. Wanted to show you guys what is happening here. So after this step, you will want to either put it in the deep fryer if you like to fry things, or you'll put it in the air fryer like I am gonna do. I prefer the air fryer just because I think it tastes better and I think it's healthier for you to not use all that grease. So here we go. So this is me adding everything over to the air fryer. Quick kitchen tip: if you don't have an air fryer, get one. This is literally like heaven sent. It has made my life so easy. I make so many things in this. My lemon pepper wings, garlic parm wings, fries, you name it. I'll be doing a lot of my recipes with an air fryer. So highly, highly recommended. Target does like a 25% off of kitchen appliances. So check them out. They do it periodically throughout the year. But anyways, we're going to let this sit for about 370 for 10 to 15 minutes. All right, guys, so here you have it, the finished product. I want to thank you guys so much for watching my channel. Please don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Thank you again for watching Amateurish. See you in my next video.